Greetings, I'm Slice, and today we will be talking about patch 1.1 for Elden Ring Nightreign. This update has added new features and fixed a ton of bugs that were present in the launch version of Elden Ring Nightreign. So let's start with what's new. The single player mode has received some exclusive adjustments. The first one is the effect of automatic revival upon defeat, which allows revival once per night boss battle, has been added to solo expedition. What this means is if you're playing solo by yourself, you will be revived automatically if you are in the boss fight that takes place at the end of each night. Additionally, we have an increase in runes gained in the single player mode. Now you will be able to earn even more runes when playing solo. We also have received some general balance adjustments which apply to both single player and multiplayer expeditions. Increased the number of high rarity relics that can be obtained as a reward when reaching day 3 during expeditions. What this means is if you reach the day 3, even if you don't beat the final Nightlord boss fight, you will have a higher chance of getting high rarity relics. They've also increased the probability of obtaining high rarity relics from scenic flatstones purchased at the Small Jar Bazaar. What this means is if you go to the Small Jar Bazaar at the Round Table Hold and purchase the scenic flatstones, you will get a random relic. This has now been increased in terms of getting high rarity relics from these random relics. Next up, we have some general bug fixes. You can read the list right here, pause your video if you want, but I will cover the ones that are most important. So the most important fixes to these bugs have been exiting remembrances was a little bit bugged. It was not displayed during certain remembrances such as Wilder. They've also fixed some stability issues where sound effects were not playing correctly, and some stability issues with crashing under certain circumstances, namely while fighting the final Nightlords. They've also fixed a bug where some graphics rendering during battles was not being displayed correctly. Additionally, we have some other status elements that were not triggering correctly, but most importantly, for PC players, they have fixed 3 bugs. The first one is where some graphics were not rendered correctly when the low graphics was selected in the quality settings. But the most important bugs that were fixed on Steam, on PC only, are a bug where the climb up action sometimes failed when using the keyboard, and a bug where the climb up action was too difficult to perform when using a gamepad on PC. If you've played Elden Ring Nightreign on PC, you've definitely experienced this when you were trying to climb up a wall and it was almost impossible and you would be stuck there trying to jump for an hour and it just wasn't working. So they have fixed this. Now that we've talked about these bugs, let's actually jump into the game, into a solo expedition, and check out all of these bugs that have been fixed. So let's roll the gameplay. So switching over to some solo expedition gameplay here, we just started and these enemies are dropping about 1,200 runes each, or about 1,000. Normally they would drop about 600 or 700 in other expeditions, sometimes even 400. So normally I like attacking these little camps at the beginning of the game and then leveling up once. So it allows you to level up once is my point that I'm trying to say. And right after that, you will be able to do another dungeon and be level 3 or 4. In this solo gameplay, I walked out of this camp with 6,240 runes instead of the usual 4,000. So rune acquisition has definitely been a little bit buff. Now, mind you, I know there are relics that increase your rune acquisition and all of that, so that also plays a factor. So if you have the rune acquisition relic in solo and are playing solo, you will most likely be able to level up to level 3 in the first 2 minutes of your expedition. So right out of the gate, I noticed that climbing up walls is much more smoother on PC. I'm playing on PC with a gamepad, and climbing up walls is now possible instead of just being stuck there forever trying to climb a wall. So that is something that has been confirmed and it works. Additionally, we have the Duchess's restage ability, the Pocket Watch. If you use restage, you will now be able to deal status ailments such as bleed and poison. This is a bug that was fixed in this new update, so it is much more enjoyable to play as Duchess now. In solo, groups of enemies will now wait their turn. If you're playing solo, that means enemies will not all attack you at the same time. As you can see here in my gameplay, I am struggling a little bit because I'm only level 4, but certain enemies will wait for their turn. See them in the background? They're just waiting. They're just circling around. So I'm actually able to survive groups of enemies now. There is a catch though. If you get too close to an enemy, they will start attacking you. But if you get, if you get some distance between the other enemies while you're fighting another enemy, you will most likely only fight one enemy at a time. So next up, we are going to be checking out the self-revive addition to the solo gameplay. What this means is you will have a self-revive after you reach the final boss of each day. So, for example, I'm fighting the Gaping Dragon here and I'm letting the Nightreign take me, and you will see that I will go down and be revived by myself. So I don't actually have to do anything, it just does it. And you also get a health boost. I'm not too sure if that's because of my relics, but I'm pretty sure everyone gets a health boost and you get health. You get healed basically. It's like a free Estus flask. So don't heal right after you get revived because you will be healed by the game itself. Anyway, well, that is all of the changes in the solo gameplay. Additionally, we have some new changes to the reward system only if you reach day 3. If you reach day 3 and fail, even if you don't win against the Night Lord, you will receive very high rewards in terms of relics. So this applies to solo and multiplayer. Additionally, when you play as Duchess now and perform your cloak attack or your ultimate art, you will be able to actually be invisible. So the way it worked before is that if you use your cloak and the enemy was attacked by you, they will see you and start tracking you again. Now the enemy will start swinging wildly in the air, trying to find you, or sometimes they don't even attack you. So the cloak has been definitely buffed or fixed. Anyway, that is all of the things that I can show you today. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Don't forget to join the Discord server if you would like to play Nightreign with us or for a chance of joining one of my games. And use group password NEON, all lowercase, in Elden Ring Nightreign on PC if you want to receive boosts and other things. Of course, you can do this on other platforms as well. Overall, this update adds a lot of really good fixes and new solo gameplay additions that made my life a lot easier when I was playing solo. But mind you, it's not gonna be easy. It's just slightly more balanced now, and I can confirm that. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.